Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to solve Cambridge IGCSE Physics Paper 2 Multiple Choice Extended. For the session of October-November 2024, we have the subject code 0625 and variant of this paper is 22. And this paper is carrying 40 marks and we have 45 minutes for this paper. Important information is we have to use the value of G, that is equal to 9.8 meter per second square. So we're going to start our question paper from question number 1. Question number 1 is that two forces with magnitude F1 and F2x on the object at right angle to each other. It means like that. These forces are like that. What is the magnitude of the resultant force? The magnitude of the resultant force would be like that. If this one force is this and other force is this, then magnitude would be. So you can clearly see that we can apply the Pythagoras theorem that hypotenuse, this is the resultant, and you can find it by applying hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus perpendicular square. So option number D is the option number D is carrying F1 plus F2. No, option number not D, but option number A, that is carrying F1 square plus F2 square. So this is the right choice. Moving to question number 2. A boy takes 30 minutes to cycle a distance of 8 km. He then walks a further distance 2 km in 15 minutes. What is the average speed? So average speed has a formula, that is total distance divided by total time. So you can get it by calculating the total distance and total time. So the total distance would be is equal to 2 kilometer, and 8 kilometer it would be 10 kilometers. And what would be the total time? Total time would be you can clearly see it is 15 minutes and 30 minutes. 15 plus 30 minutes equal to 45 minutes. You need to convert it into hours. 45 divided by 60, you get the hours, that is 3/4, or you can write it as 0.75 hours. Now we know that average distance has a formula, average speed has a formula, that is equal to total distance divided by total time, and the total distance was 10 and the total time is 0.75. After multiplying you get the answer, that is equal to 13.3, and it is closer to 13 km per hour. So this would be your final answer. Moving to question number 3. A small light ball is dropped from the top of the tall building. Which graph shows how the speed of the ball changes with time? We know that when any object falls, after some time it starts to increase its speeds, and after some time there is a point when the air resistance is equal is equal to the weight of the object. At this point the net force becomes 0 and terminal velocity it reaches, and that's why the object moves down with a constant speed. So if we look at all these graphs, only graph number C is showing that constant portion. So option number C is the correct one. Moving to question number 4. Which statement about the gravitational field strength is not correct? It changes the mass of the object. No, gravity mass is a fixed quantity, it cannot be changed. So option number A is not correct. Moving to question number 5. 3 liquids P, Q and R have different densities and do not mix. The liquids are placed in measuring cylinder and allowed to settle. A small block is then dropped into the measuring cylinder and comes to rest as shown in the figure. The statement about the density of the block is correct. Option number A is that it is equal to the density of Q. If it is equal to the density of Q, then it should be between here or there. So option number A is wrong. It is greater than the density of P. If its density is greater, then it should be at the bottom. But so this is not the case. It is greater than the density of the R. Yes, it is greater. That's why it sinks and reaches it is less density than Q. If it is less density, it should be at the surface of this Q. So option number C is the right choice over here. Moving to question number 6. Question number 6 is that the diagram shows a uniform beam pivoted at its center. Student apply the two forces F1 and F2. As you can see, F1 into D3 would be anti-clockwise and F2 into D4 would be clockwise. So you need to find out these two type of forces where F1 into D3 and F2 into D4. If you look at that, this is F2 into D4, so this is anti-clockwise movement, F2 into D4. This is clockwise, F2 into D4 and F1 into D3. So no, this is not the F2 into D4, and this is F1 D3 and F1. So option number D is carrying both. So this is anti-clockwise and this is clockwise. Moving to question number 7, which expression can be used to determine the impulse on the tennis ball? Force into time. We know that force into time is the change in momentum, and that is equal to impulse. So option number A is the right choice. Moving to question number 8, which rows show the process by which energy in the sun is released, the process by which it is transferred to the earth, and the way in which it is stored once reaches the earth. Okay, we know that it should be process by energy is released, it should be a fusion reaction, and the transfer of the mode should be radiation. Now a method by which the energy is stored on the earth should be biofuel. So option number D is carrying all those right ticks. Moving to question number 9, an object has a mass of 20 kilogram. It is taken up straight through a height of 4 meters. What is the increase of the gravitation potential energy? So we know that gravitation potential energy has a formula that is equal to mgh, and we know the value of m is given, that is equal to 20, and the value of g is 9.8, and the value of height is 4. So after multiplying you get the answer that is equal to 784 joule, and rounding off would give us the answer that is equal to 780 joule. So option number D is the right choice. Moving to question number 10, an electrician uses a lifting machine as shown. The lifting machine takes 4.5 seconds to lift the electrician a vertical height of 3.2 meter. The mass of the electrician is 72 kg, and the energy for lifting the machine is supplied by a 2 kilowatt electric motor. What is the efficiency of lifting the machine? Okay, first we need to calculate the potential energy, that is equal to mgh. Over here we will use this formula mgh. The mass is given, that is 72 kg, and g is 9.8, and height is given, that is equal to 3.2. so the gravitational potential energy of this would be 2258 joule. Now you need to convert it to the power. The power formula is P is equal to W by T. W we just calculated, that is equal to gravitational potential energy, that is 2258, and we have been provided with the time, that is equal to 4.5 second. Okay, so 4.5 second is our time. So if we divide it, we get the answer that is equal to 501.7 watts. Now we need to calculate the efficiency. We know the efficiency has a formula 501.7, and this is equal to 2000 because it is given in 2 kilowatts, so we're gonna divide it by 2000. After dividing we get the answer that is equal to 0.25. so option number B is carrying that choice. So this was a very good question to practice of efficiency, formula of power and potential energy, so you can solve it or watch the video again for that part of question. Moving to question number 11, some altimeters used to use the change in air pressure to measure the height. If the pressure is 100 kilopascal at the sea level on a particular day, what will be the pressure at the top of and 830 meter hill. Take the density of the air to be constant, that is equal to 1.3 kilogram per meter cube. So we know that pressure has a formula that is equal to rho gh, and the value of rho is the density, that is equal to 1.3, and value of g is 9.8, and the height is given for this question, that is equal to 830. So after multiplying you get the answer, that is equal to 10574 Pascal, and that is equal to 10.6 kilopascal. Now you need to subtract it to get the answer, that is 100 minus 10.6. You get the value, that is equal to 89.4 kilopascal. And if you look at the option number C is the closest, and only go for give us the answer, that is 89 kilopascal. Moving to question number 12. Okay, question number 12 is that water can exist in 3 states: solid, liquid and gas. In which state is the motion of the water particle is only vibrational? And we know that when the object is the solid, its motion of the object is only the vibration. So option number C is the right choice over here. Moving to question number 13. A cube has a size 2 meter long. The cube contains gas at the pressure of 8000 Newton per meter square. A second cube has size 4 meter long. The cube contains the same mass of the same gas as the first cube at the same temperature. What is the pressure in the second cube? Okay, so we know the formula, that is equal to P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. We can apply that. Now over here we need to find the P2 would be equal to P1 V1 divided by V2. So our P1 was 8000, that is given, and the volume of the shape 2 cube, and volume of this shape would be 4 cube. So after solving it you get the answer, that is equal to 1000 Newton per meter square. So option number A is carrying that choice. So again, this is a very good question to practice. Moving to question number 14. Which row give the correct name for each state of change? Okay, gas to liquid. Gas to liquid is condensation, and liquid to solid. Liquid to solid is solidification, and solid to liquid is melting. So option number B is carrying all the 3 right ticks. So that's why option number B is the right choice. Moving to question number 15. In an experiment to measure the specific heat capacity, a block of aluminium is heated and its rise in temperature is measured. The internal energy gained by the block is delta E. The mass of the block is m. The rise in the temperature of the block is delta T. So the specific heat capacity is the amount of energy required to raise the temperature of a body of 1 kilogram to 1 degree Celsius or 1 Kelvin. It is known as specific heat capacity. Which expression gives the specific heat capacity of the aluminium? So this is the formula that you need to memorize it. Option number C is the right choice, delta E divided by m delta T. Moving to question number 16. Question number 16 is that which statement about the transfer of the thermal energy is correct? So all metals conduct thermal energy equally well. Convection can occur in solid and liquid. No, it can occur in only liquid and gases. Convection occur in liquid because hot liquid is known. It is less dense, not more dense. The radiation that transfers thermal energy is a type of electromagnetic radiation. Yes, this is the right choice. Option number D is the right answer. Moving to question number 17. What is the number of wavefronts per second that passes a fixed point? It is the frequency of the wave. Option number B is the right choice. Moving to question number 18. An earthquake under the ocean can produce a dangerous water wave called a tsunami. The table gives us a typical data for the tsunami. The depth is decreasing, the velocity is decreasing, the wavelength is also decreasing. Our students suggest 3 conclusions. The deeper the ocean, the faster the wave. So this is the right observation, you can see from that. Next is the longer the wavelength, the faster the wave. Again, this is the longer the wavelength, the faster is the wave. This is the right. The faster the wave, the higher the frequency. No, this is not the right choice. So option number B is the right option. Moving to question number 19. The diagram shows what happens to the wavefronts at the sea when they enter a harbor. What causes the change in the shape of the wavefront? So it is an example of diffraction. When any obstacle comes, the wave bends. So option number A is the right choice. Moving to question number 20. Question number 20 is that a ray of light passes from air into a glass. What are the angle of incidence and the refraction of the ray? We know that angle of incidence would be 90 minus 50, that would be 40 degree, and angle of reflection from the normal is 25 degrees. So option number A is carry the right choice. Moving to question number 21. 21 is that an object is placed in front of a converging lens. The lens has a focal length of f. The lens produces a real enlarged image of the object. It means it should be beyond 2f because the object is enlarged. So okay, it should be beyond 2. It should be between f and 2f, because and if the object is at 2f, the image size is exactly the similar to the object size, but as you move towards the f, the sizes increases. So, and it's a real image, so it shows that it should be before f and between 2f. So option number B is the right choice. Object should be placed at P. Next part is what is the speed of electromagnetic waves in a vacuum. We know that it is 3 × 10⁸ meter per second, but here we should know in kilometer per second, and in kilometer per second it should be 300,000 kilometer per second. Moving to question number 23. The starter in the athletic race fires in the starting pistol. There is a wall 60 meter from the starter. Take the speed of the sound as 330 meter per second. Okay, how long after, now you can see the whole question. How long after the firing pistol does the starter hear the echo of the sound from the wall? We know that the formula should be time should be distance over speed, and 60 over here, and then it will be 60 plus 60, double the distance because of echo, and the time and the speed of this is given, that is 330. So after dividing you get the answer, that is equal to 0.36 seconds. So option number B is carrying that choice. Moving to question number 24. The diagram shows the magnetic field around a conductor which is carrying a current. Okay, where is the strength of the field the greatest? It is near the point. So option number A, the field would be the greatest because it is closest. So option number A is the right choice. Moving to question number 25. A positive ion in a vacuum moves at a steady speed in a straight line. There is a potential difference between the two parallel metal plates P and Q so that they are oppositely charged. When the positive ions enter the region between plates P and Q, it changes the direction as shown. The diagram shows the view from above the ion. Which diagram shows the direction of the electric field between the parallel plates? As we know that it is moving towards the plate P, it means that this should be negative and this should be positive, and all those should be a straight line, not a tilted line but a straight line. So option number C and D are the closest option here, and from these option we know that it will move from Q to P. So option number C is the right choice. Moving to question number 26. In a circuit, the voltmeter reads 2 voltage. A charge of 5 coulomb passes through the resistor in a certain time. How much energy is supplied in the resistor in this time? We know the formula for is W is equal to QV So we can calculate W is equal to QV, where Q is been given, that is equal to 5, and voltage is given 2, so it would be 10 joules. So our option number C is the right choice. Moving to question number 27. 27 is which diagram show the current voltage graph for the filament. This is an example of Ohm's law. We know that it starts like this, and when resistance shows its effect, it's going to bend. So option number 27, A option is the best option. Moving to question number 28. The diagram shows an electric circuit. This statement is correct. The current reading on ammeter A1 is the highest one. Yes, this is the right choice, because the current reading of A1 would be is equal to A2 plus A3. So at A1 the current reading would be highest. Okay. Moving to question number 29. The diagram shows an arrangement of resistor in the series and parallel, which equation is used to calculate the combined resistance of the resistance. We know that combined resistance would be parallel of this 1 over R2 plus 1 over R3. Then it would be R3 plus R2, or it would be equal to R2 R3. So this would be equal to 1 over R equivalent, and taking the reciprocal, it would be R2 R3 and R2 plus R3. And now we need to combine this resistance attached with R1. So R1 plus R2 R3 and equal to R2 plus R3. Okay, so you need to check which option is given in that. You can see the B option is there. So this is how we have calculated. This is a very good question. Moving to question number 30. An electrical engineer has made a pair of components P and Q. The resistance of P decreases as the temperature rises. The resistance of Q increases as the temperature rises. Okay, the total resistance of P and Q in series remains constant when the temperature change. The two components are connected in series with the power source supplying with a constant current. Statement is correct. Okay. If a temperature change causes the potential difference across P to double, across Q will have half. This is wrong. The difference between potential difference of P and the potential difference across Q does not change with temperature. Over here it is written it changes with the temperature. So option B is wrong. The potential difference across component P increases as the it is decreases as the temperature rises. So option number C is also wrong. The sum of the potential difference P and the potential difference across Q does not change with the temperature. Yes, this is the right option. Moving option number D is the right choice. Moving to 31. 31, the diagram shows a wire XY moving upward in a magnetic field. A current is induced in the wire. The current carrying wire XY experiences a force because of its interaction with the magnetic field. Which row give the direction of the field induced current and the direction of the force experienced by the wire XY? So we know that this is the application of Fleming right hand rule, and according to Fleming right hand rule, this will go to north to south. Magnetic direction of the induced current will be from X to Y. So option number A and B is carrying that, and the direction of the force would be downwards. So option number A is carrying the right choice. Moving to question number 32. The diagram shows a magnet being pushed into a coil that is connected to a center zero sensitive voltmeter. Okay, which row show the direction of the pointer on the voltmeter when the magnetic field is shown in the diagram 2 and 3. Okay, diagram 2. In diagram 2 it is stationary magnet, so it should not be deflected. So option number B is C and C are showing with not deflection. When moving downward or it is coming out, so it should be reverse the direction of this as it was entering. So option number C is carrying those reverse direction and D as well. So option number C is carrying both the right ticks. Moving to question number 33, what is the purpose of the carbon brushes and the split ring commutator in a DC motor? Okay, to change the size of the current, no. To keep the coil turning in the same direction, yes. That's why the direction doesn't change. So option number B is the right choice. Moving to 34, the diagram shows beta particles being directed between the poles of the magnet. In which direction will the force of the particles will be directed? So this is, you can calculate by applying Fleming left hand rule, and Fleming left hand applying it would be out of the pace. Option number B is the right choice over here after applying the left hand rule. Moving to question number 35, an alpha particle and a beta particle have the same kinetic energy. Okay, why does the alpha particle have the larger ionizing effect than the beta particle as it passes through the air? Thus alpha particle has larger charge and larger velocity, so it has the smaller velocity. The alpha particle has a larger charge and a smaller velocity, so it is closer to an air particle for a longer time. So option number B is the right choice. Moving to question number 36, a student is carrying out an experiment to measure the radiation from a radioactive source. He uses radiation detector and records the total counts in 5 minutes interval. Okay, he does this 3 times with a source present and 3 times with the source absent. Here is the result. So you need to first subtract it. Minus 68 minus 25 would give you 43. Then 73 minus 28 would give you 45. Then 69 minus 22 would give you 47. Now take the average of these 3 values. 43 plus 45 plus 47 dividing by 3 would give you the answer that is equal to 45. But these values are given 5 minutes, but you have in answer you have to give in per minute. So 45 divided by 5 would give you 9. So option number 9 counts per minute. Option B is the correct. You carefully need to divide. If you stop your question there, your answer would D, and it would appear that you have done correctly, but you need to read it carefully. This is per minute, and over here the values were given in 5 minutes, so you have to divide it by 5. Moving to question number 37. 37 is the count rate. Okay, the count rate measure near a radioactive source draws with 542 counts per minute to 94 counts per minute in 12 hours. The background count remains constant at 30 counts per minute. Okay, so what is the half-life of the source? So simple. You have to subtract 542 minus 32, the background, you get the 512, and 94 at the end. You should subtract 30 as well, it would be 64. So 512, half would be 256, then half would be 128, then half would be 64. So 1 2, there are 3 half-lives. So 3 half-lives, and the total duration is 12 hours. So 12 divided by 3 would give you 4 hours. So option number C is the right choice. Okay, there are 3 half-lives, 1 2 and 3, and total was 12. Then 12 divided by 3 is equal to 4. What happens when a polar star becomes a stable star? This is the question from the space physics. You can write that inward force would be balanced by the outward force due to the high temperature. So option number B is carrying that choice. Moving to question number 39. Okay, 39 is that the table gives the information about the sum of the planets in our solar system: Earth, Jupiter, Mercury, Uranus. Which statement about these planets is correct? As the mass compared with the Earth increases, the average density increases. If we look at the average density, decrease. So option number A is wrong. As the mass compared with the earth increases, the gravitation field strength increases. Yes, gravitation field strength is increasing if the mass is increased. So option number B is the right choice. Moving to the last question, which quantity is an estimate of the age of the universe? It is equal to reciprocal of the Hubble's constant. So O1 over H naught is the right choice. So option number C is the right answer. Hopefully you get the understanding of this paper, and if you do find difficulty in getting any of those answer, or if I miss any explanation, you can ask in the comment section. I will reply as soon as possible. And thank you so much for supporting our channel. Do share with your friends and community who needs help in maths, physics, chemistry related to IGCSE and O levels. Our purpose of this channel is to support and every student who need guidance. So thank you so much. Keep supporting. Allah Hafiz.